What are you creeping around here for? Feed the cat! Don't tell me you're done already. No. That's what I thought. I am slowly losing the will to keep constantly having to remind you children of what good values are. Take a look at the embroideries on the wall. They depict all of the important virtues. Superiority, strength, and self-control. I'm quite aware that self-control is missing. Do you think I'm blind? Now leave. I have to drink a calming tea. If you pass the classroom, remind Birgit to hurry up with her embroidering. If the self-control motif isn't finished today, I will really blow my top.
Lily liked apples. They were healthy, and sometimes you found worms in them. At least they listened when you spoke to them. The coconuts were quiet today, but it didn't matter. By now, Lily knew enough about shrunken heads. Edna always knew a few good jokes about bananas. But since Lily was such a good girl, she didn't understand any of them. Something was missing here. And even if it wasn't Lily's fault this time, she felt guilty anyway, just as a prevention.
What was that? You impertinent little slug! I can't stand it when people gossip about me behind my back! The youth of today is becoming ever more insolent! No wonder, with all the violence and foul language in the media! If I could, I'd twist your heads off one by one! Where are my canning jars? I need something to calm my fingers! Otherwise something terrible might happen here! Now I understand! You came to complain about the food, right? Well, then I have bad news for you! Children only get food from canning jars, and that's that! My hands are trained to twist the lids off! I haven't been wringing the necks of caged chickens for 20 years for nothing! Plus, I've got a court order that says I gotta open 10 jars a day! You can thank my idiotic lawyer for that! Before you ask for more food again, it's been hours since I held a canning jar in my hand! My hands always get a bit nervous at times like this. They break everything they touch. Children's legs, children's arms. I just can't control them. What's the matter? Why are you staring at me like that? What are you even doing here between meal times? I know what I'm doing here. A jail sentence commuted to 10 years community service on probation, thanks to diminished responsibility. Blah, 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 blah. Do you really want to hear this? Yeah, Mother Superior didn't want to hear it either. And as long as she doesn't ask about it directly... I've had it up to here! Haven't I told you 1,000 times already? Get the hell out! Just wait! Can I have that? I need something to calm my fingers! Thanks! That was close! Now take your stuff and get out! Now!
The guinea pig was probably tired. Hopefully, Lily would have time to play with it later. The liquid smelled like Doris's breath, or the cap of the lawnmower's fuel tank, which Lily loved to play with. Capu was the nicest guy at the convent school. Lily liked him so much that she had even named her cockroach after him. That reminded her that she'd been meaning to punch air holes in the box for weeks.
Lily, nice to see you. I hope Shawnee didn't upset you too much. He's an idiot. I think you're great, just as you are.
Lily's heart skipped a beat. This might have been the nicest thing anyone ever said to her.
What? Do we know each other? No fear. I haven't forgotten your earlier question. On the contrary, I'm known for remembering everything all the time. This is thanks to a little trick I learned from an old Chinese mason long ago. All I need is a memory aid, like objects that remind me of the 3 E's. The first E stands for emotion. It tells me whether I was sad, happy, or angry in that situation. The second E stands for engagement. It reminds me of whether I overcame the situation with strength, heroic courage, or sleepiness. The third E stands for eating. To remember, I have to know which fruit I ate that day. Vitamins are good for the... Did I tell you about my memory aid yet? I don't think so. All I need are 3 objects that remind me of that particular situation. Or more precisely, does that answer your... What? I must have dropped off for a moment. But I was just going to tell you an exciting story from my past. Was it the story of how I tried to navigate to Cape Town and ended up discovering the Eurasian continent? Oh, I know. I wanted to tell you how I helped the Templar Knights build the convent chapel, right? I was particularly happy because I had eaten a banana. Or was I sad because all there was to eat was coconuts again? No, the coconuts were when the Trojan mayor gave me the key to the city for my heroic valor. Or was my heroic valor while building dikes in Atlantis? But I think I had an apple that day. Wasn't I a little more sleepy in Atlantis? And angry while building the chapel? Oh, what poppycock. I'm getting everything mixed up. Fortunately, I created a memory aid just for this anecdote, so that I'd remember the location of the secret crypts below the convent chapel. Uh-oh, someone tidied up the shelf. That's where the objects for my 3 E's should be. Emotion, engagement, and eating. Now I can't... can't make a fool of myself. Now, let's see.
Lily had asked for a musket last Christmas. Instead, she'd been given a muskrat nibbling on gingerbread.
Hey, don't touch it. That's my old Boy Scout equipment. I might be old, but I can tell you stories that'll make your ears ring. Some of them are about my old Boy Scout equipment, but only certified Boy Scouts are allowed to touch it. So get your hands
What's that supposed to be? An animal motif? Uh-huh. No animal motif looks like that. Animal motifs are always on a pedestal. Don't you know anything? What's that supposed to be? An uh-huh. No animal. Don't you?
It looked like the termites had found a new home. And one of the gnomes that Lily saw now and then was in the process of painting it in various colors. Too bad that Freeman was no longer here. He would probably have liked it too.
Ooh! Look who's coming to get her recipe back. If it isn't our little goody two-shoes Lily, you better split before I tie your shoelaces together, or worse. Tell me, how come you even dare to come here anyway? You know we're not allowed to play in the garden anymore. Or did Mother Superior send you? You can tell your beloved Mother Superior that I don't give a damn about her stupid rules. Ha! But I bet you're too scared. You're scared of your echo, right? And you should be, because one day, when you least expect it, who knows? You might turn around and see that someone has stolen your milk. Oh, you really want the recipe back, don't you? Uh-huh. Well, I didn't know that. Just give me a sec, so I can wrap it up for you with a bow.
Lily was touched. It was so rare for her to get presents.
You so don't have a clue, do you? Get lost, Lily, or I'll be forced to call you names. Yeah, I'm a real badass. Just face it. You're not tough enough to make any demands around here. What? Now you're upset? Did the nasty boy bother you again? Uh-huh. You're such a crybaby. Well. What's this? Is this you standing up for yourself? Just look at you, Lily, with your bow and your braids. You don't actually think you could stand up to a bad boy like me, do you? I was playing with matches before you'd said your first morning prayer. How could I ever take someone like you seriously? Do you know how to spit cherry pits? Or hunt sparrows with a slingshot? Just face it, you'll never be as tough as me. And that means you won't get your recipe either.
To be interested, Lily had to find some other way to impress him. Shawnee didn't.
Lily, this is the last safe place in the entire convent, and I want it to stay that way. Don't even try talking me out of it. I'm staying here. It's much too dangerous out there.
Lily had no idea what Memphis was talking about, but he'd always been jumpy.
But, psst, someone might hear you, and then they'll take away my hiding place. And if they take away my hiding place, then I'll definitely be next. The stove is the safest place in the entire convent. You know, it has a Krupp steel casing, titanium reinforced interior walls, and is lead coated inside. I'd even survive a bomb attack in here. Now get lost before someone discovers me. If you're looking for your recipe, talk to Shawnee. He pocketed it.
La 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 la.
The end of the world is near.
Loo 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 loo.
I am damned. Damned are you.
Dub-dee-dee-dee-do.
Apocalypse now.
La 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 la.
The end of the world is near.
Dub-dee-dee-dee-do.
Apocalypse now. We're damned. Damned. We're damned. Damned. What?
Oh, how wonderfully the fully operational detonator on the aircraft bomb blinked. A real treasure chest. It was hard to tell, but Lily was actually speechless. Lily would have loved to have played on the... That's why she immediately climbed on the termite-infested tree. At least she would have done that, but apparently she preferred the risk of getting into deep trouble as soon as the players signed off. It was the perfect place to get rid of the detonator, but Lily didn't really want to get rid of it yet. It was the perfect place.
What's that? What do you have there?
But Lily didn't really want to get rid of it yet. Shawnee didn't seem to be interested. Lily had to find some other way to impress him.
Please stay off the slabs, okay? You're interfering with my research.
Lily liked apples. They were healthy, at least they...
for?
By the spring of Gugu Oshima, Riot Girl rules! Shing! Shing!
Still no effect. I bet it's the fault of those school bullies.
We hate them!
Exactly. They are just as bad as the authorities.
Or the dark forces.
Or the financial system.
Down with the dark forces!
Let them all perish in an endless inferno. Just look at her face.
Typical.
We're probably too extreme for her, and we are. Just like Riot Girl.
Riot Girl rules! Shing! Shing!
Don't you dare tell me you've never seen a Riot Girl anime or read a Riot Girl manga.
Right.
Ugh. That's what I thought.
Because the Riot Girl is totally shiny. Down with the dark forces.
And Riot Girl is totally fighting against society more than anything. That's why we're also totally fighting against society.
Because Riot Girl is totally cool.
That's why we have to destroy society. You can help us if you want.
Down with the dark forces.
Riot Girl rules.
Riot Girl rules.
That's not going to work. How are you going to help us destroy society if you don't even know our battle cry?
Down with the dark forces!
What have you got now? I hope it's a weapon for the battle against... But that's a real detonator! And it's live!
You have to defuse it, Suka! Hurry!
But with what?
With the power of love!
What? Are you... Wait! I know! Phew, that was close.
We'll snitch to Mother Superior.
Exactly. This time you really went too far, Lily. What on earth are you thinking? You're even crazier than I thought.
Totally un-Gumbo.
Don't just stand there. Get that bomb away from us. Take it somewhere where it can't do any damage. A bomb-proof place, a fireproof drum, or something like that?
It was the perfect place to get rid of the detonator.
What's that? What do you have there?
Lily could finally use the hairpin.
Does it have to blink like that?
Lily closed the door again to keep Memphis's hiding place safe.
Lily? Lily!
Something seemed to be wrong with Lily's ears today. She kept hearing all these sounds. The stove was black and empty, just like the mirror that always appeared in Lily's dreams. Lily got along great with Doris, the lunch lady. That's why she knew Doris would start throwing knives if anyone messed up her pantry. Digested grass, rat, pigeon. Lily assumed these cans were meant for the cafeteria. Was Lily finally now also Gumbo? Shawnee didn't seem to be interested. Lily had to find some other way to impress him. The guinea pig was probably tired. It was completely unimpressed by Lily's things. Lily knew she wasn't supposed to. Food was such a sore loser. And when it started acting up, Lily would get scared. Perfect. The hairpin fit exactly into the holes. This was certainly not the ideal tool to loosen the screw, and as long as Lily didn't have a compelling reason, she didn't have to take the risk. It reminded Lily of the time when she unscrewed the masks from the wall.
What? Do we know each other?
Uh-huh.
I know exactly what you're looking for. An instructive story about my time with the Templar Knights. Unfortunately, my memory aid is still missing a few important pieces. If I only knew what the 3 E's for this story were. But right now, all I can remember are a few vague associations. 4, to be precise. As everyone knows, each different food creates exactly one emotion and promotes one characteristic. For example, I was never sad if I'd packed a few apples because they always helped me be very strong. I could only do heroic deeds on days when I wasn't sad. On the other hand, if I was angry, I could never show great strength. Coconuts were always good at preventing sleepiness. On this one specific day when I was helping the Templars, I was neither happy about an apple nor angry about a banana. But I also wasn't sad about a banana or happy about a coconut.